Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to my trying a new makeup product everyday series, but this is the second to last day of the series. Don't worry, I'm still going to be doing makeup reviews like this, but probably in a different way, maybe more products in one video. I'm just excited to try out some different types of videos here on my channel, so of course let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that you would love for me to make a video on. But so today I'm trying out the Mischo Beauty Eyeshadow Palette that I got in my January 2023 Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. So if you haven't seen that unbagging video yet, that is up here on my YouTube channel. But so this is a cruelty-free and vegan palette that retails for $40, which I do find very pricey for what you get here. The packaging is just so simple, I guess, like very like bare type packaging, and you only get 8 shades. They're all matte except for the little square ones, which are sparkly. And when I look at this palette, it just doesn't really like impress me from looking at it, but we're going to see how it actually performs as I use it. So the first thing I'm going to do is some swatches. Got some matte browns. Let's see how the glitter is. Ooh, that's pretty. I mean, they do have a nice feel to them. They seem to have some good pigment. And I love a neutral palette, but I'm feeling like the shades in here are, I don't know, just a little bit boring. It could also be because I'm finding the packaging a little boring that I feel like the colors look boring, but just like very basic shades. And I tend to use basic shades the most often, but something about this color story just isn't wowing me either. But here are what the swatches look like, and they actually all swatched very nice. Some good pigment. The shimmer shades, the sparkle shades are not as pigmented, almost maybe a bit more like a topper effect. And so next I'm going to apply my eyeshadow primer to just one of my eyes so I can test these with and without the eyeshadow primer. And here I have the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, which I am just going to apply, then blend all over one of my eyes. We're going to go from the lash line up to the brow bone, so I can also do some brow bone highlighting with this palette. And so first I'm going to start with the white shade here. It looks matte, but then when I look up close, it has a little bit of sparkle to it. So let's see how it looks on the eye. I'm just going to use this to dust all over the lid as a base shade. And wow, this is actually showing up with good pigment and a little bit of kind of sparse glitter. But wow, that does a good job of canceling out the discoloration in my eyelid. And really I'm just going to use it to be a base shade to make it a little bit easier to apply other colors. But I definitely think it went on more pigmented on the eye with the primer. This eye, it seems to be going on a bit more sheer. I'm not a big fan of the sparse glitter in this. It's not glittery enough to be like a glitter eyeshadow, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't know, like this shade also is not, it's like a little bit yellowy, so I feel like it doesn't look that great on me to wear alone, but I think for that base shade it's fine. But next I'm going to pick up the shade called Undaunted, and I'm going to use this to highlight, and I'm just picking it up with my finger. Looks like a nice champagne shade. Let's see. So I'm going to apply it right to the brow bone. Oh yeah, this is a nice highlight shade. It's bright, reflective. That does a really nice job. Picking up a bit more on my finger, I'm going to brighten this inner corner. Ooh, yeah, very brightening. I'm happy with the pigment on this, with the metallic finish. That is a pretty intense highlight. That's nice. Since it is pretty pigmented and intense, this would also be a nice lid shade. For this look, I'm going to try and use as many colors as I can, but I would like to do an eyeshadow look where I put this shade on the lid. It's just like such a tiny little pan for that highlight shade, and I really like it. But for a $40 palette, for this to be all that you get, I just find that surprising. But okay, next I'm going to pick up this kind of peachy shade called Worthy, Peachy Tan. And I'm going to use this as my transition shade. So I'm going to blend this from the crease up to the brow bone. So it's going to kind of blend over that highlight shade a bit. Maybe this color is just very similar to my skin tone, but it's a little hard to see. So I feel like I'm picking up a lot. And for this transition area, it's fine, but other than that, I don't think I'd really get used for this shade because it is not doing much. Really, I feel like it's just kind of blending that highlight shade into that perfect blended position. But yeah, this isn't really creating any depth for my eye look. And I feel like I'm just kind of wasting time trying to apply so much, and that really didn't do anything. This palette, it's getting so messy too, which doesn't usually happen, I feel like, with palettes, but it's like the texture of this really collects the eyeshadow, so I feel like it looks so messy, and this is only my first time using it. But okay, next I'm going to pick up this brown shade here called Unbothered. And I'm going to try and build up the crease a bit. But this looks like a warm tone brown. Yep, that I was worried was going to look kind of orange. And yeah, immediately it's looking kind of more orange than brown. And I'm not a fan of when that happens with my eyeshadow looks. I'm just not a fan of orange on me that much. And some of these warm tone browns can look so orange, and this is definitely one of them. Like, the pigment is decent, blending out decent, but I have not been too happy with the shades that I've been putting on my eyelids so far. Or basically any shade except for the highlight. But yeah, it does blend out nicely. I like how it applied, but let's move on to, I'm gonna try this other brown shade, which is kind of similar but a little darker. It might come across really orange on me, but it's called Lajama. And just picking up a little bit so that I can try and put this in that outer corner. Ooh, I mean, good pigment. And it's going on very smooth, like a nice formula. It is definitely looking orange on me, but it's easy to work with. It's just the colors are not enhancing my eye the way I was hoping they would. And they're just not as wearable as I would want them to be, like not really colors that I'm gonna reach for. And there's also, let's see, what else have we got in here that I haven't used? The pink. I do not like using pinks like this on my eyes. I don't even like using pinks like this on my cheeks. It's just, like from the swatch, you can see it's just too red. I already have a lot of that redness in my skin, so I don't like to add it back in with eyeshadow or blush. And then, yep, I used this shade, used that. I didn't use the dark brown. Maybe I'll use that to line my eye. Okay, so then the only other shade I haven't used yet is this goldish one called Unbossed. And from the swatch, it looks like it may be like a duochrome. I'm going to pick it up with my finger, and I'll apply this to the rest of the eyelid. Ooh, okay, no, I feel like it's actually looking like that true yellowy, goldish color here on the lid, which just doesn't look that great with the other shades, and I just don't really love this color in general. It's almost like a greenish yellow that I feel like I would never really wear. Doesn't look that great on me either. So like every shade in this palette, unfortunately, is just not a very flattering shade for me, or a shade that I really like to wear. So this is actually applying like decently pigmented, but it still has a little bit of sheerness to it. But it has a lot of sparkle and a metallic shine as well. But the color is just not my favorite. And it's not fully opaque either, which I would want a shimmery, sparkly, metallic shade to be. And yeah, considering I used every shade in this palette too, like, they don't look that great together. I feel like this eyeshadow look is coming out pretty bad, but I really did not expect it to look so unflattering on me. I'm going to finish off with a dense brush, picking up the darkest brown called Madam, and I am going to line the lower lash line with this. And yeah, this is a nice dark brown. It's got good pigment. I don't feel like that really helped pull the eyeshadow look together. Ooh, now that I look up and look in the viewfinder there, yeah, that does not look very good with the rest of the shadows that I'm wearing. Oh gosh. This look turned into a bit of a mess, and I don't even feel like there's other looks that I would create with these colors that I would like. Oh, such a bummer. Like every color that I used in this palette was a miss for me. I mean, that's a pretty decent dark brown. It just doesn't go with the rest of the look, but for a dark brown eyeshadow eyeliner, that actually was pretty good. But yeah, here it is. I have to laugh at myself in this eyeshadow look because it is not cute on me, but I really, gosh, I tried with this palette and it let me down. So not one that I'm going to recommend. If you did create any looks with this palette that you enjoyed, let me know about those in the comments down below, and maybe I can give this another whirl and have a better experience with it. But for now, this is just not one that I am a fan of. But thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video.